Welcome back to another episode of 2 Minute Tuesday. I am your host, Kevin Reyes, and today we're going to be answering some questions that one of my subscribers submitted to me. Now, jumping right into it, the focus topics that we're going to be going over today are how to take wide angle pictures. What is a wide angle picture? Or how is you get a certain picture to have that bokeh, that nice blur in the background. We'll be going over that. But also, second, we're going to be seeing how once we take these pictures into our editing software, how to take out certain colors versus everything, and how to adjust some of the hues or saturation within that. Let's get started. So here you can see on my screen, we have a couple different boxes, rectangles within one another. Now, as you see here, the wider we go, it's going to be lower the number. So 18 millimeters, as what I'm shooting on this video today, I have a pretty wide angle shot, so I can pretty much move around here a little bit, and I'll still be within frame. But if I was shooting with an 85 millimeter, I would have very little space. I'd probably be very cramped up a bit. So the thing to keep in mind is the lower the number, the wider you're going to be able to see, or take a picture rather, if you will. So I currently have a few lenses. This is going to be an 18 to 55, 3.5 to 5.6 aperture. So because at 3.5 and 5.6 aperture, I'm going to be able to move in and out a little bit as my depth of field is a little bit bigger than, say, 1.8 or 1.2, 1.4 as such. Now, as we go into these bigger numbers for the millimeters, say 50 or 85, you're able to go ahead and have a different range of with your aperture, which some will drop down to, say, 1.8, 1.4, or 1.2. Now, here is an example. Let's go here of a wide angle shot. Now, this is taken by a 20 millimeter. And as you can see, since the shot is very wide, you're able to get a lot more in focus. So we have here this couple. You can see them very nicely, the clouds, the grass here, and it looks great. So this was taken with the 20 millimeter, not an 85, because then that would be very zoomed in. You'd probably see it like this. That would be like an 85. But since we have all this space, that's what the gift of the 20 millimeters give to us. Now, if we wanted to get a little bit more of that blur in the background, let's take a look at this picture. Now, this was shot with a 50 millimeter 1.8. Now, yes, we do have a tighter window in that, but because that aperture is lower than, say, 3.5, it's now 1.8. That depth of field is now being shrinking. It's shrunken now, so it's very small. Now, whatever is in this little window of 1.8, that's the only thing that's going to be in focus. So when you focus in on your subject and her face is nice, crisp, sharp, everything else in the background is going to be nice and blurry. Now, that is what you call bokeh. Now, as you can see here on the right, this car, you're going to see like little bubbles, and this is going to be certain lights. Different lenses have different ways that they'll be able to show certain shapes. Some will be like a hexagon, some will be a star, triangles. It just depends on how the little shutter, if you will, little panels within the camera are created. And it gives you different shapes depending on what you do with it. Now, that's going to be answering our first question. So just to recap, the lower the number, the wider the space we're going to have to be able to take a picture, and the more we're going to be able to get in focus. The higher the millimeter number, 85 is just an example, will be more zoomed in, have a little tighter space, but we'll be able to take advantage of that 1.4, 1.8, 1.2 aperture to get that nice blurry background, as some people really love. Now, getting into our second topic, how to take out certain colors within a program, a picture rather, and how to do that within, say, today we're going to be working with Lightroom. So once you get your pictures uploaded into Lightroom, if you need some help on learning how to do that, we can definitely make a tutorial, but we're going to assume you already know how to do that. So here, we're going to be going to resetting our picture, and this is how I took it in camera. No adjustments have been made so far. So I used, as you can see here, the 50 millimeter 1.8. So it's a little bit zoomed in rather than that wide shot. But as you can see, I have this flower nice and sharp, and everything else in the background is nice and blurry, which is, you know, what we want, and that's just how I want to take the picture. But what we want to do is we're in our editing stage after post. looking back at this wall, it looks okay. But the thing I don't like about it is it's a little yellow. And I just don't like the yellow colors. So what you want to do, if you want to just remove the yellow, we're going to keep the green, we're going to keep the red. What you'll do here is on the right side, we're going to scroll down a little. You're going to open up this tab, HSL/color. Now, because we want to remove the color yellow, we're going to select the appropriate box, which would be yellow. Now we have three different options here: hue, saturation, and luminance. The one you want to choose is going to be saturation. Now everything is set to 0 right now. But as you click this slider and you bring it down, notice how the color changes in the picture. Look at that. Now, if you were to not even notice that it was there just a moment ago, one thing you can do is if you click the slash button on your keyboard, it's going to show you the before and after. So here's before and after. Very subtle change, yet it makes the biggest difference. Now, as you practice and gain experience as a photographer, these are going to be some of the things that you're going to be dealing with. So again, just to recap, going down to the HSL/color slider, picking the appropriate color that you want to individually manipulate and take out. So let's say, for example, I want to maybe take a little bit of the red out. You just click the appropriate color, click saturation, and bring it down. Now, if you keep going all the way, you'll notice it looks pretty ugly, which we don't want to do that. So if you need to make any adjustments, make them ever so slightly. That is how you take care of colors individually within Lightroom. I thank you guys so much for your attention. I really hope that you enjoyed this video today and that you learned something. If you have any questions, like I mentioned earlier, or want to see how to do certain things within photography, shoot me a message down in the comments section. Shoot me a DM, instant message, whatever you have, or just get in contact with me, and we can make it happen. You know, I'm all about teaching people about the business, how to do certain things that I do myself. And with me, you know, I don't know it all. I'm still learning things every day. So let's work together as a team. But thank you guys so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next one, and I hope you have a good one.